Perfect. We're loaded into the match and we can see the civilizations already. It's gonna be Franks versus Britons. There we are. So let's switch over to the game scene. Yeah, let's do that. Oh man, the lag. It's fine, no problem. Welcome everyone though to game number 1 in the series. Best of 5 over here in the round 32 between Mr. Yo and Classicpro. For game 1 we have Franks for Mr. Yo on the left hand side. Classicpro on the other hand's got Britons on the right hand side. And I think colors are going to be good enough as they are. Yellow might be a little bit harder to tell apart from the desert terrain. But I think it's fine. If anybody's having any issues, you guys let me know and I can switch the colors. Maybe have Classicpro playing in red, right? But yeah, Goalie, how are you doing? Nice and graphics, thank you. It's a custom overlay for King of the Desert specifically. I'm gonna try to do this more with tournaments, where we adapt the stream a little bit more to the tournament theme as well. So you can see we have a desert background. And yeah, hey Malo, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Only issue is that it's not orange. Orange would look like there is gold everywhere, right? We have a little bit of orange around here, but yeah. Let's introduce the civilization, starting with Mr. Yo on the left-hand side. We get, first off, 20% boost in HP on stable units, starting in the Fuel H onwards. Then on top of that, we also have for Franks 15% faster working foragers, 25% cheaper castles, which will be super clutch. And then on top of that, we also have, for Franks, free farm upgrades. And for the team bonus, 2 extra line of sight and 9 line units. Now he's up against Britons. That's a very interesting one. And of course, Britons can be super strong, but against Franks, you know, with extra HP from the get-go in the Castle Age, having mobility with the Knights, extra line of sight as well, can be super dangerous and super threatening. For Classicpro, then playing with Britons, that means he's going to be getting 25% faster working her Shepherds, rather. He'll get on top of that a 50% wood discount on TC starting on the Castle Age onwards, as well as 1 and 2 extra range on foot archer units in the Castle and Imperial Ages, with the team bonus being also 20% faster working archer ranges. Well, I'm gonna take a look at the map generation, but give me a second because the microphone's giving some trouble. It's been a little bit finicky. Okay, I think it should be better now. So let's start with Mr. Yo, actually. Okay, what do we get over here for the blue player? We have the main gold on the back, which is pretty good already, you know, in this Arabia generation or this version of Arabia. Not very often you get back resources in any case. And then on top of that, we also have the secondary gold on the back. We have a secondary stone on the back, actually, and the main stone is 4 with the other secondary gold being forward as well. So these two are going to be kind of exposed, but you know what? This is actually not that bad. Even though these are exposed with some walls from here to here, you know, around the wool lines and from here to here, it wouldn't really be that expensive for Mr. Yo to secure so much. I mean, he doesn't need to go for something like this from the get-go, but if he eventually aims for such walls, he will be able to defend all the golds, all the stones, a wool line over here on the back, which is beautiful, of course. There we go. And then another wool line over here, plus the berries and everything. So that'd be pretty good if he could go for something like that. Meanwhile, if we take a look at... Wait. Alright. A little bit of damage over here. Classicpro is taking from the TC. Yeah. If we take a look at the map generation from Classicpro on the other hand... Oh, man. I think this is pretty interesting because just a very small difference in wood distance from the TC over here. Or I'm not sure if this is probably a secondary wood, not one of his starting wood lines. But that one is going to make the forward part of Classicpro's base so much more open compared to Mr. Yo, so much more difficult to wall. So yeah, for the yellow player, for instance, we have the main goal forward, and then he's got the secondary goal forward. We have the secondary goal over here on the back for Classicpro as well. The main stone on the back, and then the other secondary stone is going to be forward. And it's going to be so much harder for him to secure this area. He would have to go for walls from here to here, and maybe from here towards the TC. But then if he goes for something like this, he doesn't secure any of the goals, so he would have to go for something like this, maybe. From here to here, and here towards the house, right? And just try to make a little bit of a rectangle around his base, maybe. Certainly not looking quite as good as Mr. Yo's map generation for sure. But yeah, both players are already going up to the Fuel Age, and Classicpro is going to be going for Minotaur's Archers. Let's get the Militias out already. Not really sure where those are. Oh. He's right here already. No way! He already was able to get a Villager? That is super fast, man. Wow. I was talking about the map generation, and he's got Militias forward already 7 minutes into the game, and he got the first blood over there. What a great job. And didn't even lose a whole lot of HP on the scout over there. Went around the wood line over here on the left-hand side, couldn't do anything. Went over to the berries, couldn't do much of anything. Yeah, and over here he's just stuck fighting against the palisade. Good job! Good job, that's gonna be the first pick. Hey Squeaker! How are you doing? Britain France AOK Classic. Fun fact, at 1650 plus ELO, Britons have the second lowest win rate against France with 37.88%. The side that does best versus Britons might surprise you. God's my ass Vietnamese. Best against Britons might surprise you, so it cannot be an American civilization, right? Best against Britons. I'll probably say Ethiopians, but I'm not really sure. I mean, usually, nah, that's actually a bad guess, because usually Ethiopians get destroyed by Britons because of the extra range, or at the very least a higher level. The more likely that is to happen, the more likely players are going to be able to capitalize on the extra range. So 1650 onwards, it is an archer civilization. It's gotta be, but the Vietnamese, it's gonna be the same. Like, it does not have extra range. But if it's an archer civilization, I guess it's gotta be Vietnamese. Then that's probably the only one that I can think of right now. No, okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure which one then. It's gotta be one with sea tram, right? At the very least. So maybe, yeah, Byzantines are not an archer civilization. Koreans? What? Wow, interesting. Nice, nice. Thanks, R-Base. Appreciate it. Wow. That's pretty good. Good job, we're here with Minotaurs for Classicpro. Scouts are good in numbers, but the Minotaurs get the hill advantage over here, so that's one scout going down, and take a look at that micro! He was able to take the spearman also with the, with the Minotaurs before he went down. And that was so good. Still, we have 4 scouts over here left for Mr. Yo. 20% extra HP from the get-go will be super good, of course. But yeah. Free armor makes sense. And war wagons, right. Yeah, that's interesting, but it probably... Well, quite obviously, it was not my first guess. I wouldn't be expecting that at all, for sure. Classicpro is losing another archer over here. That is a little bit sloppy from him. He needs to try and mass the units before sending archers out. And unfortunately, against these scouts, he's going to need a big mass, so it's not viable right now. He needs spearmen, and he's going for some more, but only queuing another one up right now. He's got so far 1 spearman, and it's forward. Along with the 2 archers he's got remaining over here. Yeah, and that's about it. Mr. Yo's going back. I was surprised too. Would have guessed something like Vikings. Yeah, maybe Vikings. You know, maybe Ethiopia. I've seen Ethiopians get destroyed before, but I would probably guess just because of the sea tram, and maybe some other civilization with access to it as well. But yeah. Interesting stuff. Good job, he should take care of the spearman, no problem. He ends up losing 2 scouts though, which is not ideal. And there we go, he cleans everything up. He lost 3 scouts, he was able to take 1 spearman and 3 archers, I think. That was not the worst, Definitely could have been much worse for Mr. Yo. Take a look at this, by the way. He is going for the walls. He's not going to be walling around the stone over here by the looks of it, but he already has the layout. He's got the archer range connected to the wood line over here. He is going to finish the wall towards the south. And then he's going to be working towards the wall on the north side of his map as well. Good job. He's got a good amount of resources to try and go up with, to the castle age very soon. He's not quite there just yet, but he should be able to. In a little bit. Let's take a look at this. It's gonna be another villager going down. That equalizes Eco KD 1-1. Overall, idle TC time a little bit higher for Mr. Yo. For sure. Yeah. And then on the left-hand side for Classicpro. It's got the archers. Moving forward still, but now we have skirmishers for Mr. Yo, so he should be fine. At most, Classicpro might be able to get one villager, but he would have to sacrifice his entire army to try and find an exposed area over here, and I don't think he's gonna be able to. This is still open though, so yeah, good job from Mr. Yo to pull the villager away so he didn't lose it. And now Classicpro is walking away. Yeah, well played. Mr. Yo should be able to clean this up. And will he though? Wait a moment, that's actually a really good micro for Classicpro. Villager King here took a little bit of damage and went back. Yeah, but with these extra skirmishers, that should be fairly straightforward for Mr. Yo to clean this up, right? And now he'll end up patching his map up here, and then up north he's going to go for the walls as well. So very interesting that he's not going around the resources. It wouldn't be really a whole lot of extra resource. Actually, it would be the same cost. But yeah. Anyway. Good job. Yeah, I'll just get cleaned up, and now Classicpro. He's gonna have to think about going up to the Castle Age as Mr. Yo is already on his way up. Classicpro, well, he's getting close to having enough resources, and we see a stable coming up over here, which is a very interesting addition. Will we see maybe... Oh, he's going for the second archer range. I was going to say, are we going to see knights maybe? That wouldn't make sense against Franks. Against a civilization that doesn't have strong knights, such as, you know, let's say Ethiopians or Byzantines, you're expecting them to be going for a crap ton of skirmishers for whatever reason. Because you're Britons, right? They're going to be going for skirmishers. You would be forgiven to go for knights. Even if it's Briton knights, but against Franks it would be kind of suicidal, so... Yeah, I'm not really sure what that's about. I think he just wants to take care of the skirmishers over here. He's just gonna go for the one scout. That'll make sense in any case. And good job over here. Mr. Yo's pushing villages away from resources. I don't think he prevented the walls from coming up. Nah. So he's kind of trapped over here with the skirmishers. He's trying to find weak vills. Oh no, he's not trapped. He's coming out. Good job. Castle Age is here, so Mr. Yo, he's got double stable net production going right away. What a great player. Notice how he realized how good his base was, and he did end up going for full walls. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff for sure. Sending a villager forward as well, so we'll see a siege workshop coming forward, for sure. By the way, guys, if you have not followed my account on Facebook or Twitter, I'm gonna be trying to notify about live streams over there. So if you go to Twitter or Facebook and you look for Nova AOE, you're gonna find my page, and you should see a post indicating that I'm live right now. I think I should be able to post something on Instagram this weekend as well. It's gonna be from Age of Empires 4 though, not from Age of Empires 2. But yeah, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more active on socials as well. Should Classicpro mass pikemen? Classicpro mass pikemen. The thing is with Franks, the pikeman play can be good at the very beginning, but it's not going to win you the game, right? Because of access to throwing axemen, which Mr. Yo can go for much cheaply than other civilizations would be able to go for their unique unit because of the discount they get on castles. So it suffices for now. I would prefer monks, and he's going for the monastery. Monks are going to be a lot better because they're not going to be susceptible to throwing axemen quite as much. They are ranged themselves as well, and then they can convert the knights as well, and it's much better than taking knights down with pikemen as well. Of course, it requires a little bit more control. That is a lot of damage though. He denied the TC, he was able to take 3 villagers down, and now he's coming in, and this is not even properly walled, so now we're gonna see more villagers going down. Classicpro. There you go. Gets the conversion. That's what I'm talking about. This is so cost effective. Even if he loses the monk, that's going to be so good. Takes one knight away from Mr. Yo. Added to his own ranks. And now we're probably going to see more monks coming out as soon as Classicpro can afford them. And it's looking so good. Now, on the left-hand side, though, Classicpro is coming in with a good amount of archers. So, it was looking very good for Mr. Yo until Classicpro managed to sneak in over here. Ah, but he's giving it away. He's attacking the middle over here. Let's see if Mr. Yo will realize about this on time or not. He will. Good job. And because Classicpro does not have ballistics over here, he cannot guarantee taking villagers down, especially at max distance. Wow, this is just ridiculous, man. Mr. Yo lost a single villager to amass a 13 crossbows inside his base. This is super good reaction. And very unfortunate for Classicpro, who should be going for ballistics, by the way, no matter what, because he's up against knights. He's up against mobile units. He needs ballistics. Does he have a university even? He's just been prioritizing the TC, so no, he doesn't. TCs and monasteries. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo's got the 4 siege workshop already up. He's got a 4 monastery up as well, so he can potentially convert back the knights that he gets converted. Just increase the number of Twitter followers by 33%. You're the 4th? Nice. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of people over there, and to be fair, there's not really a whole lot of activity from me just there yet, but looking to change that. It's all about implementing the workflow, right? Building a system around it. The YouTube channel, by the way, we're gonna have the first day of KOTD series uploaded, and they should be available any minute now as well. Good job. Well played. He gets the Manuel. Now he should be able to get a good surround on the crossbows, and he's going to clean these up. So I don't think ballistics would have changed this engagement over here specifically, but he would certainly have been able to do a lot more damage against these knights, and he certainly would have been able to get a bunch of villagers down for sure. Mr. Yo had it like fairly easy to save his villagers against the crossbows, which shouldn't really be a thing. Now we'll see a second group of units coming in from Classicpro, but Mr. Yo, there we go, ends up pushing the crossbows away with the TC, and it's looking overall very strong. With knights coming out, what can Classicpro do over here? I am not too sure about the triple TC play against Franks when you're going up to the castle age later. It just seems kind of weird. To be fair though, you know, there's a chance, there's a possibility that Mr. Yo will go for full knights, which means he wouldn't be able to afford double triple TC production. Double TC production probably, but triple TC not a chance, right? So I guess does make sense in that regard for Classicpro, and he did manage to get a hidden villager count. But I don't feel like this is going to scale better for Britons whatsoever. Will you comment bars versus out? I'm going to comment all the series of KOTD. If you ever see me offline while KOTD is live, go and check memstream, because that's the only reason I will be offline. Unless I have a power outage or something else. But yeah, I'm gonna be covering the entire tournament. I came from Middle Turning notification. Is this it? Wait. What? No. Did I completely screw up my posts on Twitter and Facebook? Let me know, please, because it shouldn't be Melilla. No. Anyway, good amount of military over here for Classicpro. He's gotta be careful. Mr. Yo with the Siege Workshop over here is going for Mangonels. Now, Mangonels against Britons are not the most effective unit because of the extra range of these crossbows. However, with the threat from these knights over here, that can change. And that was a huge shot from Mr. Yo. Classicpro ends up losing about 5. Let's see. Ends up losing about 5 crosses over there. Wow. That really shouldn't happen with Britons, man. How many knights do we have here? 15. 33. Let's check. We have 2 mines over here. That's going to make it a little bit trickier, of course, for Classicpro to get a good trade over here. Especially with the houses over here. It makes it a little bit harder for him to micro his units around. It kind of forces, or it kind of funnels his units into a little bit of a choke point over here. But he cannot delete this, because then the knights can come in and try to get a surround going as well. Really good job from Mr. Yo as well. Yeah, and Classicpro is trying to go after those. After that with the villagers, but he cannot do anything. And still no ballistics. Still no ballistics. He finally can get the manual down. He gets a monk down, which is pretty good. But he needs ballistics 100%. Twitch notification and stuff? Oh, you're correct. Yeah, I forgot to change the go live notification. True, true. I updated the title. I did not update the notification. RIP. Well, I hope this does not disappoint you if you're looking for Midilo gameplay. It's going to be a little bit better, but you know, from some of the players that we saw in Midilo, this is actually not that much higher. I mean, gameplay does not seem to be that much better. Some of the Midilo players were so good, man. Maybe he played too much KOTD4 too? Maybe. Villager count's starting to even out a little bit. Mr. Yo is only behind by about 5 villagers. He's still benefiting from the free farm upgrades. He's got heavy plow and he's had it since he got out to the castle age earlier than Classicpro. Classicpro is still on a horse collar over here only and double bit axe. He has not gone for both, so he's missing upgrades for sure. He's got wheelbarrow, which is pretty good for sure. But he's certainly not maximizing his economy, especially when going for full economy with triple TCs. It seems to me like he should be going for eco upgrades ASAP. This guy's a little bit better. Just a tiny bit, yeah. It's understandable if you confuse both elo ranges for sure. Alright. So he's going for the TC. I think he just went straight through, right? I think he did. He's got enough over here to take the TC down. Where are the pikemen from Classicpro? Does not have enough, and they are completely out of position. So that TC is going down for sure. He's not going after the villagers. Yeah, but the TC crumbles, and now he does not have access to this gold anymore. So Classicpro, where are the other golds? He's got 1 gold he's collecting from. This one is going to run out very soon. He's got about 950 gold left over there. Meanwhile, this gold on the left-hand side is completely out of the question because of Mr. Yo's presence over here. So that is not really a whole lot of gold left. 900 gold's not really going to represent that many crossbows. And take a look at that! Mr. Yo's going for a forward castle, bringing the villagers over here. While Classicpro doesn't have the stone to react to this. However, he's got enough gold to buy the stone that he's missing to get a counter castle up. He's going to go for it though. I don't think he can. We have knights inside his base already, so if he tried to go for a counter castle, he would just get completely wiped. Let's see. Yeah, good job. That's gonna be GG, guys. That's gonna be GG. Mr. Yo completely dominating game number 1. Getting the lead in the series. 1-0 against Classicpro. Good job. Let's update this actually so that it's a little bit more readable. And let's go through the achievements real quick before jumping into game number 2. It's a better than 2-to-1 KD ratio for Mr. Yo. It's gonna be more like 17-to-8 actually. And for Army High, on the other hand, much better for Classicpro with 61-to-34, largest army. For economy, on the other hand, we also have let's see, a stronger economy for Mr. Yo, collecting about 2,000 extra resources or 1,800 extra resources. He was the only player going for relics as well, which is amazing. How he's able to go for so many things, how he's able to pay attention to so much. Faster feudal, castle age as well. And yeah. That was pretty good as well. He took advantage of the map control to go and get these. I think it would have been significantly harder for Classicpro in any case. Well played. 4 villagers lost for Mr. Yo through this game. Meanwhile, 40 villagers down for Classicpro throughout the match. 40 villagers down. Mr. Yo with a better civilization, but he just plays so clean. Yeah, he does. He does. APM over here, interestingly enough, is actually kind of comparable for both players. I think for Classicpro it was actually a little bit higher from time to time, but let's go back. British does to Franks. They do. We're gonna see what we have left for the rest of the civilizations, right? So let's cross the... Let's see. The civs out over here. We had Franks. First pick for Mr. Yo, by the way. And we have Britons, right? There we go. Alright, it's pretty good. There we are. And for game number 2 then, we have Burgundians left still. We have Mongols left still for Mr. Yo, Huns. We have Celts and Byzantines, while Classicpro on the other hand has got Berbers, Lithuanians, he's got Vikings, as well as Ethiopians and Vietnamese available still. So very curious what we're going to see. Once again, Classicpro being on the back foot against Mr. Yo is going to be in a really rough spot because he wants to go for the strongest civilizations he can think of, but at the same time, that's going to hurt for the later stages on the series. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo, I'm pretty sure he's going to be feeling confident. I think he will be able to go right now for like, you know, actually all his civilizations are pretty good, but I think he could go for like Celts, which are going to be a little bit riskier. And he's gonna be fine for the rest of the series, right? Or he can go for Byzantines as well. I guess Byzantines could be a really good matchup depending on what civilization Classicpro goes for. But yeah, the point is it's a much lower stakes situation right now for Mr. Yo compared to Classicpro, I think. So we'll see. Completely forgot to enable predictions for game number 1, but we probably didn't really have a whole lot of people in the stream before that started, so we are going to enable that for game number 2. Sexy accent, no homo. Thank you. Let me check the Discord to see. Yeah, game number 2 is here already, so let's see if we can jump into it right away. Hopefully. Give me a second. There we go. Game number 2 is coming up. Let's enable predictions. We're gonna make it 2 minutes. Who is game number 2? Mr. Yo. Classicpro. You know, I'm pretty sure most people are gonna be betting for Mr. Yo no matter what, but that means that you're gonna get pretty good odds going for Classicpro. You don't need to bet a whole lot. There you go. Welcome you guys then to game number 2. It's Hans versus Lithuanians actually for Mr. Yo and Classicpro. Yeah, Lithuania is going to be one of the stronger civilizations for Classicpro, but that means he's not going to have this one available for later on in the series, while Mr. Yo is going to be using Hans. Char no slouch on Arabia, of course, but that means that Mr. Yo is securing for the rest of the series some of the stronger civilizations as well. So yeah. Given that Classicpro will likely play Lithuanians or Berbers, I like to see Celts from Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo ends up going for Hans in the end. Let's take a look at the civilizations and the map generation over here, starting with Mr. Yo. With Hans, he's got, first off, 10 and 20% cheaper cavalry archer units in the Castle and Imperial Age. He's got also no need to build houses, but he starts with 100 less wood because of it. And then on top of that, we also get with Hans, for instance, they have 50% accuracy on trebuchets as opposed to 15%, and for the team bonus, we also get 20% faster working stables. 20% faster working stables can be super strong. That allows you to get your scout mass a little bit sooner. That allows you to get your knight mass a little bit sooner if you end up opting for knights in the Castle Age. And Classicpro, on the other hand, is playing with Lithuanians over here, which means we'll get 150 extra food upon starting the game, which means he can be super aggressive either by going for a super early drush, which he's not going to go for. We do not see any barracks coming up, or he can also go for a faster uptime, for instance. Or you know, with Lithuanians with the extra resources, I'm kind of wondering if with a good map generation, we're going to be taking a look at the map generation in a moment, Classicpro would be able to even fast castle on a fairly small amount of villages without taking too long and without making it too risky. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it'll be interesting to see anybody try that. I don't think I have seen anybody try to fast castle on KOTD just yet. Anyway, besides that, Lithuanians get faster moving skirm and spearline units. We get also 1 extra attack on knights and lightest, right? For each relic garrison up to +4. And for the team bonus, on the other hand, what do we get for the team bonus? Lithuanians will get 20% faster working monasteries, right? Which means a fast castle, as risky as it could be, if you miraculously get away with it, you would be able to go for knights earlier, you would be able to go for monks sooner as well, try to secure the relics. But yeah, that's just fantasy strats over here, honestly. I don't think we're gonna see that. Mr. Yo, for his map generation though, let's take a look at this. He's got the main goal in the back, which is pretty good, right? And then he's got the secondary goal on the right hand side towards the back as well. And then the other secondary goal is gonna be towards the north. As for stone, on the other hand, he's got the main one on the right hand side. It's kind of exposed. And then on the left hand side, he's got the secondary goal over here. So this is Well, if he just connects both these wood lines, or even goes for the wood line towards the edge of the map, if he has not scouted this one, he can potentially go for walls from here to here, and then maybe try to connect the walls from wood line to wood line like this, and then from here towards the edge of the map. I think he can do it. It's going to be a little bit pricier compared to the wall out that we saw in the previous game. However, if he does end up getting away with something like this, he ends up securing 2 golds, 2 wood lines over here, which is amazing, of course. And he ends up securing the berries as well. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. I'm really sure that's what he's gonna be going from the get-go, though. Just because he's got the villages in the 4 woodland, it makes me think that he's gonna be going at the very least for something like this, maybe. From here to berries and from here to the TC and something like this at the very beginning. But it'll be pretty good if he could expand the walls outwards like this afterwards. So, yeah. Taking a look at the map generation for Classicpro, on the other hand. What do we get over here for the yellow player? He's got the mingle on the back. He's got the secondary golds forward. Right, one to the north, one to the south. And he's got the main stone, secondary stone on the back actually, and the main stone is kind of forward. I think, so he's going for walls already, right? He's going to be trying to connect towards the wood line over here. I'm not really sure if he knows about this wood line up north, but I think he's probably still going to be going just for walls from here towards the TC, and then maybe probably something like this. Just because he's not using the houses, he's not using the barracks in such a way that he will be able to wall around his base like that. So I think it's just going to be walls towards the TC. Let us skirmish over here, going in favor of Classicpro. Good job! He got it. Now, he's in the fuel H a little bit sooner compared to Mr. Yo, of course. That allowed him to get an even better trade, but now Mr. Yo is able to walk away. We'll play it. Stable on the way for Classicpro. Mr. Yo should be going for his own stable. Yes. And both players went up super aggro. Take a look at that. 18 villagers for both. 18 villagers? It's actually something you expect to see with Franks. You know, you can see it with Lithuanians as well. But, yeah, with Hans, it's actually pretty solid. So well played from Mr. Yo. Is it going to be able to go for the scouts, though? That's the question. And he's got double bit axe as well, which is just ridiculous. He's got some goats over here left, so he doesn't need to make a switch to farms just yet. But this is very, very interesting, you know? I think he probably just went up with one less villager on wood, and he's not been collecting from farms whatsoever. He's just trying to keep up with Lithuanians. It's been a pretty good adaptation from Mr. Yo. He's very experienced, he knows exactly what to expect from Lithuanians, and he's going to react accordingly. Now he's going for the walls, and he will be going for the walls on the left-hand side that we were expecting to see eventually. And then on the right-hand side, I think he's got planned to connect both wood lines, and then connect this wood line to the edge of the map, and that's going to be the wall that we were expecting to see in the end. Which is super good for Mr. Yo. And it's the first wall out that he's gonna go for, as opposed to working towards this wall eventually. He's just going to go for it right away. I think that also goes to show a level of confidence for Mr. Yo against Classicpro that I'm not really sure he would be feeling against some of the other players in the tournament. I'm not really sure if he would be going for these walls from the get-go against players, you know, like Hera, Leary, the Viper, MBL. Hey, Mainframe! Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Hi, C Deep as well. Can you make a YouTube video explaining the AOE4 minimap? It's too busy, I can't figure out what's going on. That's a good... Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I hadn't thought about it. Thank you. I'm gonna take notes. However, there's going to be an update. They publish a roadmap, and there's going to be an update that's going to change the minimap, so... I'm going to check when that update is coming out to see if it's worth making it right now, or if I should be waiting for the update first. But yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. Thank you. Let me take notes of it. Minimap AOE4. Thank you. All right, 4 scouts for each player, plus the spearman over here for Mr. Yo. He should be able to hold on over here just fine. Actually, 5 scouts over here for Classicpro as opposed to 4. He's going around. We have 5 right now for Mr. Yo. HP pool seems to be a little high for Mr. Yo now that he's got the 6 scout over here. Yes. Now we have the 6 scout coming over here for Classicpro as well. Just passing. Oh man, I think he's gonna be trapped, isn't he? He's gonna be trapped! I don't know about this. I mean, Classicpro came in when he knew that Mr. Yo was going to completely wall himself off, so it feels kind of awkward to me. It feels to me like Mr. Yo should be able to clean this up, no problem. He's going for 1 extra scout as well, and he's got the spearman over here already as well, so that's pretty good. And yeah, Classicpro can try to bank on the hills maybe, but I don't think that's going to suffice though. Not against the spearman over here. That's a great hit as well. Chunking a lot of HP off that scout. Almost taking it down. And where's the other spearman for Mr. Yo? He's got the spearman over here, so he's going to bring it back. And he should be able to take this, I think. Keeps on chasing the scouts away. Classicpro is just hoping he'll be able to get a villager or 2 before losing his army, but should probably give up on any hopes of getting these units out alive. So yeah, he should be just trying to trade for villagers maybe, and that's a good hit. I don't think he got a hit. No, he didn't. But this is just going to be an endless chase. There you go, 1 scout going down. Eventually these units are going to get cleaned up, but yeah, he's trying to go out. There is no way. There's no way out of here. Yeah, there's no way out of here. Good job from Mr. Yo as well. He's paying attention to the woolens as well. He had overchopped. Okay. So about here, right? If Classicpro notices about that villager on the blacksmith, he could probably have tried to focus it down, and he would have lost his scouts, but he was going to lose them anyway, and he would have gotten a villager down, but he keeps on roaming around. Classicpro back home is going for super greedy walls, and this is much better than what I was expecting him to go for, actually. Let me see if he knows about this. He does not know about the woolens on the right hand side, otherwise he would be able to connect to the edge of the map as well, and that'd be fantastic, but for the time being he's gonna be fine as well. Even if he goes for walls from here to here, he will be able to secure this wool line, although he still needs to scout this area. I think he's gonna be connecting both these wool lines. We'll see. He knows that Mr. Yo's got all his units on the back, so he does not need to worry about the villager going down, so he's gonna use it to go out and scout a little bit. And that's pretty good. Yeah, he's going to try and wall towards the edge of the map by the looks of it. Okay. Yeah, that's actually pretty good, and he should be able to get a decent wall out over there. Let's check. Good job. Yeah, and those scouts are doomed. Castle H is here for both players, a little bit sooner for Classicpro, so what will we see from the yellow player? He's significantly behind in villager count, but that comes from going up a little bit earlier, and also going for wheelbarrow, which Mr. Yo is not going for just yet. Once we get up, then Mr. Yo is gonna be going for cavalry archers. He's got a triple range set up already. And Classicpro on the other hand is gonna be going for double knights, right? Double stable knight, yes. So he's up, he's going for knights already. He's gonna be going for husbandry afterwards. I'm very curious to see if he'll go, yeah, there we go, for the monastery right away. To go and try and collect the relics. He's already secured one of the relics inside his base, which is ridiculous, right? But it's pretty good. Anyway, that was a little bit unfortunate for Classicpro that he didn't realize about this woodline, but it's fine. He's still gonna be able to secure 1, 2, 3, 4 woodlines with the walls he's going for right now, and that's already enough, right? Second TC on the way for the yellow player as well. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo is just gonna be second to 1 TC full cavalry archer production. Take a look at that! Mr. Yo's going for the cavalry archers in ballistics play from the get-go. Wow. Good job. Meanwhile, Defensive Siege Workshop over here for Classicpro. Yeah, he knows exactly what to expect, of course. I mean, he had the scouts over here. He knows what Mr. Yo is going for. And Mr. Yo has been struggling, man. He's been struggling to get rid of these scouts. And this actually has been so valuable for Classicpro. even if he ends up losing all the scouts, just the scouting information he was able to get from here, like there was nothing Mr. Yo was gonna be able to do without Classicpro finding out about it. Unless Mr. Yo went for it outside the walls, which would have exposed it to Classicpro's extra units coming out right now, right? Like the knights or the spearmen that he had outside the walls knocking on Mr. Yo's door a few minutes earlier. Yeah, Classicpro keeps on. I'm really sure if he's actually microing this anymore or if he's just, you know, shift commanded these units around maybe. Good job. So he's getting another relic over here. He's not collected the one inside his base just yet. There is no rush for him to get it, and he does not know about it, but this one is basically secure. So that's one relic for him. That's going to be +1 attack. Does not have forging, so it's going to be, yeah, only +1. Because he's the one with the advantage early in the castle age. Until Mr. Yo gets to a decent amount of cavalry archers, he should be able to, yeah, he should be able to go and collect at the very least one more relic. Which means in the end, he should be on +3. What can Lithuanians do against cavalry archers? Make a lot of knights and fast skirmers. The knights are super good. The thing is, it's a different timing, right, for the units. The knights are going to be immediately useful. Meanwhile, the cavalry archers, you need to get a good mass going. Classicpro's doing a good job over here with numbers. Yeah, the relics will make a big difference for sure, but for the time being, he's only on 1. We already have enough cavalry archers over here to 2-shot Classicpro's knights. So this is not good. That's going to be the second time Classicpro gets kind of trapped in here. Notice how Mr. Yo is going for the walls. Yeah. There is no way Classicpro gets out of the space alive at all. We already have ballistics for Mr. Yo, so these are going to get cleaned out like no matter what. Yeah, there you go. Ballistics, how many do we have over here? Close to 20 cavalry archers? 22 even. That's super good. Once again, 30, magic number for cavalry archers against Castle Age Knights with chain, bard, and armor. Classicpro, the best he can do is try to trade for villagers, so he'll do it. And so far, he's managed to get 1, 2, 3, make that 4. Oh, make that 5, make that 7, 6. I think he ended up collecting 6, right? Yeah, he got 6 villagers over here. That is really good. Mr. Yo was not paying attention over here. He was not repairing with enough villagers, so the gate went down. Knights came in and allowed the rest of the knights to get out as well, and that was so much better. That was so much better than I would have ever expected from Classicpro over there, and, you know, he gets a significant villager lead because of it. It's got 20 extra villagers, 19 extra villagers right now, actually. And yeah, it's pretty good. Mr. Yo, on the other hand, he's got the cavalry archers over here. He's got to be careful. There's a hill over here, which Classicpro could potentially take advantage of. He's got 2 groups of knights over here, plus the scorpions coming in. That can be devastating for these cavalry archers. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of damage. What is Mr. Yo doing over here? He's not paying attention. He's taking so much damage from the scorpions. Oh boy. Well, I think he was paying attention on the back maybe, trying to go for the walls. I'm not really sure. He lost a bunch of units over here. He did not take a single scorpion down. I don't think he got a single villager down either. Classicpro on the other hand. Let's see, he knows about this relic. He still does not know about the relic on the back, which is unfortunate. Good job. You bet on Classicpro. Did anybody bet on Mr. Yo, by the way? Because if there's bets for one player only, won't really do much for anyone, right? Okay. There we go. These cavalry archers are not really going to be the strongest against the knights. We need more numbers from Mr. Yo. Yeah, actually, let me go and check. Interesting. Yeah, there's only one person betting. So, That is not going to be any bonus for you if Classic Pro wins, which is very interesting because I will be expecting a lot of people to bet on Mr. Yo. That's gonna be so unlucky for you, our basic Classic Pro wins. The laws in my country prevent me from betting on Twitch. Is that actually the case? Wow. Anyway. This should be good for Mr. Yo. He can clean those units up now. It's not allowed everywhere. Wow, I had no idea actually. Okay. Well, I don't think anybody bet on Mr. Yo actually, so guess we're just gonna have to cancel that one out. Yeah, we need with more people around, more people to bet. There you go. Good job. The Netherlands treat online betting quite seriously. Oh, a little bit of a pause over there. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? They probably don't want to encourage gambling, even if you get the channel points for free. You know, channel points you cannot get with money. And that is something you can get for stream elements points for the Noblins, but for channel points you can only get them by watching and betting. I have 50k bonus and nothing to spend it on, rip. We're gonna try to change that later. Oh, you get a multiplier by subbing. Yeah, that's true. Good job. Scorpius over here doing good damage. All that Classicpro needs to do over here is get the castle up. Yeah, he got it. Now Mr. Yo cannot do anything over here, and Classicpro is gonna be able to defend the stone. Good job. Still has not been able to collect any extra relics. I don't think so. You technically can get more with money. Yeah, I think that's true. But you can still not like directly buy. But yeah, it's true. With having you do get more. We're gonna try to change the channel point situation for sure. I'm gonna be trying to implement some functionality into the stream. I still need to do some tests before I do so. But I think the first thing we are going to introduce is we're going to allow you guys to change the colors of the stream. Because you know that we use a monochromatic scheme. Yeah, we're going to allow you to change the colors. Good job. Yeah, he gets the conversion over here as well. Mr. Yo's putting a lot of pressure around Classicpro's base. He's been roaming around as well with a second group of cavalry archers, and now he should be able to get these. He's not taking the villagers though. Good job. There you go. You got a village down already. In the stream you can't spend a lot. Like, really a lot of points to get an on-stream analysis of a game of yours. Interesting. Yeah, we cannot be really expensive with those things because the stream is not quite as big. In a stream as big as Nilly's, it makes sense because otherwise, if it's not too expensive, a lot of people can redeem it. Let's see. Yeah, this is really good raid coming in from Classicpro. So far, he's been able to get a bunch of villagers down. Doesn't seem like it's going to be the end of it. It's going up to the Imperial Age as well, yes. Mr. Yo's got no economy. Well, true. He's got 90 villagers, still behind by about 18 villagers, 17 villagers. But then the majority of his economy is actually idle right now. Well, he's trying to get them back to work, but it's been a huge nuisance so far. Having these knights from Classicpro come in, and it's not been the first time. He's actually gotten breached multiple times, and now he's not even completely walled, so course he's going to keep on getting breach. He should be able to hold on over here with these knights though. He's got almost enough to one-shot the knights, which is going to be more than enough to two-shot, of course. And he just chases these away. Meanwhile, we have a second group of cavalry archers over here. He's got Thumb Ring. Classicpro, on the other hand, has got 16 knights only. That's not really a lot. He's got some scorpions for sure. But once he gets to the Imperial Age, he's going to need to go for Cavalier. And especially play Bard in armor before he can even try to take an engagement against the cavalry archers. And even there, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I feel like Mr. Yo is getting to way too many cavalry archers over here for Classicpro to be able to fight against. Currently, you have 45 years more than Nilly. Yeah, it makes sense. Isn't he co-casting with men? Is he not online? Can we see MTG from Classicpro? Maybe. Mr. Yo is not going to call the GG over here. He's got a lot of momentum with the cavalry archers. He's got Siege over here, pushing against the TC. I think he might be able to get the TC, guys. Mr. Yo has also been collecting relics too. So that denies potential relic collection from Classicpro, and by getting 2 relics, Mr. Yo already denies Classicpro from getting to +4 attack. What were the monk conversion time changes? I don't think it changed. I think it remained the same. I think the thing that changed is that now Eagles and Scouts, they do not have conversion resistance anymore. However, the minimum conversion time has been increased for those to 8 seconds, I think. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. From 4 to 8. I'm really sure what the maximum conversion time is. The minimum used to be 4. Or, I mean, is 4. Except for Scouts. And Eagle Warriors. Good counter raid over here from Classicpro. This has just been a huge issue for Mr. Yo. Even though he's catching up in economy right now and he's going up to the Imperial Age himself. These raids have just kept on delaying him. Yeah. I think when I was casting him together with Lidacor. Oh, I see. Hey, Aaron Chef, how are you doing? Welcome. Oh man, this is so good. Wait a moment though. Where are the cavalry archers? Mr. Yo struggles big time to defend and attack at the same time. Might be able to clean out these Cavalier, but already he's been taking a lot of losses over here. I think he was up to 105 villagers just a few moments ago, and now 96 villagers, so he's lost a few. So far, KOTD, you can see it's favoring Classicpro. However, Mr. Yo has not fallen behind in that regard too much. He's got only 2 less villager kills compared to the yellow player. No one saying no to RNG anymore? Wait, what? I don't think so. I think it's still RNG. Yeah. Good job. Yeah, he cleans out the Cavalier finally, but then we have a new batch coming in from Classicpro. He's going for a 4 castle as well. So he needs to go for trebuchets so that he can take the castle from Mr. Yo down. He can take the TCs down, you know, but Mr. Yo already got to the Imperial Age. So whatever damage Classicpro can do is not going to be anywhere as bad right now for Mr. Yo as it would have been when he was in the castle age still. Now Mr. Yo can go for his own trebuchets, for instance, if he gets the resources, and he can try to take on Classicpro later, for sure. It reduces the RNG, but the average conversion time stays the same. Yeah, for all the units, sure. For okay, yeah, I think it probably it probably reduces the average time as opposed to staying the same, right? Because it's a little bit higher for minimum, but it's still more likely you're gonna be getting minimum conversion time compared to before, right? When they had conversion resistance, I imagine. I'm really sure actually what the numbers were before compared to now. Job. And these Cavalier get cleaned up. Now we have Parthen tactics for Mr. Yo. He's got Bracer. He's got Chemistry. He's got 54 Cavalry Archers and Trebuchets on the way already, with a second castle on the way too. Now Classicpro has finally gone for his own Trebuchet, so he should be able to take this one down. However, Mr. Yo, you know, Classicpro's gotta be careful, because if Mr. Yo manages to keep the castle up and get the Trebuchet out, remember that Huns get 50% accuracy on those, so he could potentially snipe Classicpro's Trebuchets before he can take the castle down. We'll see. Some clowns worked it out, and average is like exactly the same. Okay, I'll trust the clowns. I'll take the clown calculation. Really good job over here. That's not a very effective surround for Classicpro, and now Mr. Yo's got heavy cavalry archer as well, which is going to make this so much stronger. Yeah, there we go. Mr. Yo's trying to keep the castle up, but he's only on 6 villages over here. That is not going to suffice. However, this trebuchet is going down. He's gotta take it, man. He's gotta take it. Mr. Yo's not unpacking the second trebuchet. This one staying up for the time being. Very good reaction though from Classicpro. He knows exactly what's up against Hans, but now this castle crumbles from Mr. Yo. That was still pretty good for Classicpro, but hey, Mr. Yo on 54 military units compared to only 5 for Classicpro. 123 to 119 villager count for Classicpro and Mr. Yo. Although with all the pressure over here from the blue player, what is Mr. Yo going to do with this extra villagers if he does not have any military? Wow! What a great comeback over here. Mr. Yo was on the back foot for so long this game, and now he's been able to come back. You take a look, he's taking a bunch of extra villagers right now, and so far in the game, he's been able to take a bunch of extra villagers compared to Classicpro, which is remarkable, and that's gonna be the GG coming in. What a beast Mr. Yo can be. Absolutely, that's gonna be 2-0 over here for the bull player then. Let's go and take a look at the achievements real quick. What do we get? We have a much stronger KD for Mr. Yo of 7-4. We have also 6-2 versus 32, largest military for Mr. Yo and Classicpro respectively. And that was pretty good, of course, because Mr. Yo ends up... Yeah, Mr. Yo ends up, you know, massing the units. He needed a good mass of cavalry archers. So getting to this stage makes Mr. Yo's push almost unstoppable. Job over here as well with economy for Classicpro. He actually managed to collect a lot more resources compared to Mr. Yo. And then for technology, we have faster feudal time, faster castle age time. We have faster imperial age time for Classicpro as well. Yeah, good stuff. Let's go back. And let's cross the civilizations out to see what we get next. So we saw Huns over here, we saw Lithuanians over here, right? And that means we're gonna be left on Mongols, Burgundians for Mr. Yo. He's got Byzantines and Celts as well. I would definitely like to see Celts for sure. Meanwhile, for Classicpro on the other hand, we have Berbers, Vikings, Ethiopians, and Vietnamese. Have you guys ever noticed that all the units in Age of Empires, all the male units, or is that also the case for female? All the male units in Age of Empires 2, they have the base model, the same base 3D model. Like it's the same guy with a different outfit every time. Let's go back. Oh, we're here already. Let me check to see if there's going to be a third game right away or not. It seems like there's going to be a minor break, Krasina says. Alright, maybe they're just trying to sort some technical issues out. Who knows? Hey, Asmooses, welcome. Guys, did you see the codecast yesterday on Mem stream? You know, we had some people coming into my stream when I booted up for the 3rd and 4th series say, hey man, where were you? But that's a fair point. I probably should have updated my stream title or something to say that I was going to be on Mems. Disappointing for Classicpro? Yeah, big fan. I can imagine, especially as he was ahead, right? Like he was looking super strong. In the mid game, Mr. Yo was able to come back from the dead. I posted on your Discord when I noticed you weren't online. Oh, I saw that. Thank you so much, Arbase. Very much appreciated as well. I'll use the Discord to post notifications when I go live as well in the future, but I need to set up roles before because I don't want to tag everyone every time that I go live. I need to set up like a stream notification role, a YouTube notification role, and then I can use the news channel a little bit better to notify whenever I'm live, whenever there's a new video out, that kind of stuff. Do you have OnlyFans coming soon? Nah, no OnlyFans. Just free access platforms, man. I didn't have to point out that I missed that you were casting with him. Hey, I did not give any names, all right? It's fine. It happens. But you were not the only one, by the way. So no worries. Do you like Age of Empires 4 or Age of Empires 2 better? I think I prefer Age of Empires 2. I do like Age of Empires 4. I think I have a preference for Age of Empires 2, but I do like both games a lot. However, AoE 2 has an edge still. I think for the time being anyway, until they fix a few things for Age of Empires 4, like I think it's a good game, but they need to fix a bunch of things. After they fix a few things and potentially add a few extra civilizations, it's gonna be a little bit more interesting for sure. Right now, even though the civilizations are significantly different from each other, it still feels like a few civilizations. It feels like 8 is still a very small amount, but that's probably just coming from Age of Empires 2, right? Like there are other games like StarCraft 2. I think they have only 3 factions. I guess I'm just used to having a lot more variety in any case. But yeah, it's pretty good. I haven't seen a whole lot of it just yet, so maybe I imagine players are going to be figuring out different strategies for different civilizations. So maybe it's going to become a lot more diverse fairly soon, but for the time being, it seems to be a little bit, constrained in terms of what you can do. But I'm not really sure. I have actually only been doing Age of Empires 4 for casting. I did the Genesis tournament on my YouTube channel, which you can find there. And what else? And that's about it. Then I've been doing some gameplay on my own, but not a whole lot because I haven't really had too much time with KOTD and preparing the overlays and stuff. But I've been recording some content locally to make some guides for Age of Empires 4, but that's going to take some time to go to YouTube because I need to do a lot of editing. And there's just not enough time in the day, man. I have no idea how certain content creators can do so freaking much, like stream 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and still have an active YouTube channel. Well, most people actually have editors though, so I guess that helps. Maybe in the future I'm gonna be able to get an editor. Yeah, for the time being it's all it told me. Yeah, they have a team, that makes sense. I struggle, man. I struggle. It took me a long time to get this overlay up, to get the new logo out as well. Like it took I think 2 months of iteration and designing off stream. And then for YouTube it's probably going to be a similar process. I think my overlay right now, like the production quality on my stream is at a decent spot, so I don't think I'm gonna be working too much on it anymore. I think the only thing that I still have left to do with my overlays for the stream is the alerts. I need to update the alerts. And then after that, I think I'm gonna be focusing on YouTube more. Having someone to edit is really nice. Currently, I don't think Tina does any production at all. I think he does, but probably not for all the videos. I think I remember I saw him on Twitter saying that he was editing out the timer on Age of Empires 4 videos because there was an issue in which when the game ends, because you have a 5-minute delay, the timer at the top right actually changes to the final duration of the game all of a sudden when the game ends. So it kind of spoils you when the game is going to end. And he was saying that he was going to edit it out, but I'm not really sure if he was saying he was going to do it personally or not. But he did that on his stream? Ah. Okay. But yeah, the thing is, I struggle a little bit with my standards. I always want to have nice things, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to implement. I've been meaning to have an overlay like this for quite a while. That is reactive, that is animated between scenes, that it's automatic, and that looks clean. And it took me a very long time to get to a point where I was like, okay, yeah, this is decent. And it's probably going to be the same for you too. I have a lot of ideas of what I want to do with YouTube, but it all requires so much work. Oh, hey, game number 3 is here. Let's see if we can jump into it. And that is not to mention work for tournaments that I'm going to be doing in the future as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot. But hey, hopefully it's worth it, guys. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I'm a mod on Sulu's channel, and every time you want to have something prepared, it takes so long. Yeah. Yeah, you know, when you're seeing it on stream, it doesn't seem like it should take that much, right? Like, seriously, how long can it take for you to put an overlay together? But if you want something nice, it's just a long time designing and iterating, evaluating, changing stuff up, trying different versions as well. Like this overlay is one of many versions that I had in my mockup file. Okay, the link's not working. Give me 1 second. Wednesday we did Jeopardy with 3 streamers. Let's travel among them, which took hours and hours to set up. Yeah, something like that I have been meaning to do for quite a while as well, but it is very laborious and it's not very high on the priority list because it'll be a one-time thing for me. So that's going to be mostly in the future. All right, guys. Game number 3 is here. Welcome everyone. We have Mr. Yo on the left-hand side towards the south of the map with Mongols. Classicpro on the other hand is going to be playing towards the northeast with Vikings. And it's a very interesting matchup then, Mongols and Vikings. Let's talk about Mongols first. So, yeah, for the blue player, we are going to get 40% faster working hunters, which is pretty good, of course. He'll get also 30% extra HP on light cavalry, hussar and step lancer line units. We get also 25% faster attacking cavalry archers, as well as for the team bonus 2 extra line of sight on scout line units, right? For Classicpro, on the other hand, with Vikings, we get free wheelbarrow, free handguard. It's gonna have 20% extra HP on infantry units from the fuel H onwards. And then the rest of the bonuses will be for water, so those are the main ones. So the 20% extra HP on infantry units got changed actually. It used to be 10, 15, 20% in Field Castle and Imperial Age. And that's going to be a flat 20% starting from the Field Age already. So you can see he's going actually for a drush already. Or he's gonna be thinking of a drush. Has he collected extra gold? He's not collected extra gold. Alright. But yeah, it's pretty good. However, they got thumb ring removed. So there's that. Most of the sets in the round of 32 have been one-sided, but we have seen some amazing games. True. Yesterday was good. Today I expect the losers to win 2 or less games combined. Okay. Yeah, I see. So you're talking about... Okay, yeah. I imagine you're probably referring for the most part to the qualified players, right? You living on board? No mention of it just yet? You managed to get aboard? Yeah, he got it. That's 2 elephants over there and the rhino. Good job. Let me go back a little bit to see if Classicpro even realized about it. That was like super early, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, good job. I think that's the... Yeah, that's the first elephant, actually, that he collected. Well played. So he went 4 right away. Good job, he was able to find it. Let's take a look at the militias coming in over here from Classicpro. I mean, the losers of today's sets. Right, but are you expecting the qualified players to be the losers of today's sets? Or are you expecting, for instance, the second and the third set to be one-sided in favor of the qualifiers? Oh, the qualified players, sorry. Villages here now for Mr. Yo and Classicpro. Yeah, Mr. Yo is only now going for Loom, but it's fine. This is a very good push from Classicpro. He already was able to push Mr. Yo away from berries. I don't think Mr. Yo will be too worried about that, given he was able to collect a lot of extra food because of the elephant, right? Unless Classicpro goes and collect from Huntables, which it doesn't seem like he's going to do just yet. I don't think he pushed, right? No, he did. He pushed the ostriches already, and he pushed the zebras. That's good. That allows him to kind of equalize a little bit for food count, but it still should be a lot better for Mr. Yo. A lot more efficient as well, for sure. Let's actually choose the outcome of the previous prediction. The previous prediction, sorry. There you go. I think only back D slam might be close. Daniel's good too, but Leary's OP. Oh yeah, Leary versus Daniel, I feel like it's going to be one-sided for sure. I'm very curious about that series though, as well, myself. We'll see. Oh, it was open over there! In Classicpro, oh, he tried to keep it open, but he couldn't get the militias in here on time. Good job from Mr. Yo. So far, he's been able to push villages away from berries. And that's about it. Mr. Yo, on the other hand, is going already for the walls. He's got 4 scouts. 3 scouts, and the 4th scout coming up. Now he should be able to clean these units up, so Mr. Yo is going back to berries. Well played. That's a lot of action from very early into the game. Which I love, of course. Very different compared to the first set that we had yesterday. Absolutely. It seems like Mr. Yo is going to be going for very greedy walls once again. He's probably going to be connecting to the edge of the map using the woodland on the right hand side. And probably he's going to be going to the edge of the map from here to here. And that allows him to secure 1 gold. That allows him to secure actually all 3 golds over here. This is actually not going to be a secondary gold, but it's a neutral one, which is still pretty good for him to secure. And then he's got the stone kind of as part of the walls, but then the secondary stone over here on the left-hand side is going to be secured, I think. Good job. He does manage to secure 1, 2, 3, 4 woodlands, actually. Classicpro, on the other hand, is going to be going for similar walls to what we had last game, which means he's going to be able to secure only 1 stone. Potentially 1 gold over here if he does end up connecting the walls to the edge. Here. But yeah. I'll try to get a villager down. I think he might be able to. Not this one. But Classicpro's got the spearman already there. Quick walls? Not quite. Oh, that's gonna be a villager going down for sure. Classicpro will lose this. Mr. Yo. Oh man, he's going around. Very, very good reaction against the spearman. Well played. Yeah, this is pretty good. Now, we do see extra units coming over here from Classicpro. He's got archers, though, to play with. So he's lost a scout, but he was able to get 1 villager from Mr. Yo. He struggles to get another one. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo over here ended up losing a scout. I don't think he was able to get a single villager just yet, so it's going to be 1-0 in favor of Classicpro for KOTD. Well played. Hey, guys. How's it going? Back to versus Land could be an interesting series. I think so too. I think so too. And you know that one actually Back got invited, right? So, or actually he qualified directly by getting good results previously. Slam on the other hand, not so much. In Slam, you know, in a ranked game, I would say he has like pretty decent chances against Back, especially since the players know each other so well. They play a lot against each other because of Slam's time zone. However, he usually struggles in tournaments really bad, and I'm really sure that's still the case. But I remember last year, for instance, that used to be, you know, Slam's reputation, struggling in tournaments, and I'm really sure that is still going to be the case or not. I guess we are going to find out. Good job. Sadly, it seems that it's going to be a walk in the park for Leary this tournament. He is playing the same amount of games and others were playing H4. That's a fair point, yeah. I'm not sure if I would say it'll be a walk in the park. I guess we're gonna see. We're gonna find out next weekend for sure, right? Because we're gonna have the group stage already. That's going to give us a good indication of Leary's performance compared to some of the other players. Let's check. By the way, do you leave out your subscription banner deliberately? It was there yesterday, wasn't it? Subscription banner? I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm not really sure. What you're referring to, sorry. Oh, 62 out of 100. No, it's here. It's just in the lobby. In the lobby scene, not in the in-game scene. Yeah. I could potentially include in the game, but I need to do some experimenting first to make sure that it's not going to interfere with anything from Capture Reach. Does anyone know how these were seeded? I think it was standard seeding. I think they just seeded the invited players or the directly qualified players based on past tournament results, and then they just did the seeding based on the qualifier results for the rest of the players. So you know, whoever came in the top seed in the qualifiers is probably going to be seed 17, I imagine, for the round 32. For the qualifiers, I think they got seeded by ladder, yes. For the invited players or for the directly qualified players, I think they were seeded based on results from tournaments before. Mem said that yesterday as well. They took 6 major tournaments, including KOTD4 onwards, I think. Kasevich will be here significantly faster for Classicpro. Yeah. It's good that he's safe, but these balls are nowhere near as good as Mr. Yo's. Oh my god, man. Here comes Classicpro. I can't believe Mr. Yo did not finish wall on the left-hand side. Like, he went for such a greedy, gigantic wall and he does not finish it. And now Classicpro is just coming in. Dude, he's in the castle age already, so we're gonna see Crossman and Balkinaru coming in. And yeah, Mr. Yo's already lost another villager over there. That's gonna be 3 villagers. Because these were hunting as well. They have a good amount of food they're going to lose now. Oh boy. Hey Balkinaru! No ignoring the important questions. When do we get the caster cam? The caster cam. It's gonna be for special streams. I don't think I'm gonna be using it for the most part. Ignoring the important questions, yeah. You know, I used to have it in the past, but it makes it a little bit more of a hassle, especially because of the long hair, to get ready for the streams. So I stopped using it for one time, and then it took like 3 months for anybody to realize, so I was like, okay, it's not a big deal. Also, my setup for it is not the best. My lighting is pretty potato, as you saw yesterday. Bathtub stream coming? Yeah, hot tub. Sure. University on the way for Mr. Yo. It's gonna be going for cavalry archers this time around again. It's got 25% faster attacking cavalry archers, which is super good. Meanwhile, Classicpro on the other hand is going for the 2nd and the 3rd TC. And what is the play over here for him? It's just going for crossbows. That's pretty interesting. Mr. Yo should be in a much better spot with the cavalry archers over here once he gets decent numbers. And I love that he's going for the university, so we're gonna see ballistics coming in very soon too. That's going to help so much. Especially as Classicpro is not going for it, the mobility of the cavalry archers should allow Mr. Yo to get a much better trade too. How much time did you spend on your hair yesterday before the stream? Oh, yesterday specifically about... probably just 15 minutes or so. Well, just, right? Anybody else with short hair just spends no time at all. But the day before that, I actually had to spend quite a lot of time untangling it. Because it gets tangled up super easy, because I have curly hair. Good job. Yeah. Skirmishers and the cavalry archers over here are going to clean the units up from Classicpro, so now Mr. Yo is going to have momentum. He's got a lot more military units, and much better units with ballistics right now as well. These are going to be tankier, faster. They attack super fast because these are Mongol cavalry archers, and then... yeah, Classicpro does not have the numbers right now. He's trying to go for more crosses once again. I don't think he'll be able to... yeah, it's not going to be able to match up for production. In any case, he's got only 2 archer ranges. So he gets the 2nd TC up. Alright. I think yesterday I provided just the right amount of hair to compensate for Dave's co-stream or co-cast the day before that. So now Mem's, the amount of of hair on Mem's stream is perfectly balanced. Now I imagine Noah looks like Sideshow Bob. Well, you can see it, right? On Mim's channel. Or you can see it in some of my very old VODs. In some of my... I think in last year's Open Lookup I still had the webcam. Good job. Good defense over here for Classicpro. So far he's been able to stabilize pretty well, and now he's getting a nice villager lead, of course. 18 extra villagers because of the extra TCs. And he's taking a lot of resources as well. He should be able to go up to the Imperial faster. Man, with the faster attacking cavalry archers over here and the lack of thumb ring, given the current patch for Classicpro, these cavalry archers look a lot stronger for Mr. Yo than they probably would have looked a little bit earlier. And I think this is overjump, guys. It's overjump! He can come in. It'll be kind of risky because of the DC, but if he comes in, you know, with the mobility of the cavalry archers, he would be able to just go straight past the DC and go to the back of Classicpro's base. He's not going for it. I'm really sure if he even realized about it. Oh boy. I was really hoping for Classicpro to play the set of his life and take take this to game 5. We need the people who don't watch HS regularly as me, for example, would start to appreciate the guy because he's been grinding and trying for so long. Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate. We were talking about that yesterday. Right, when we were talking about Leary. It's amazing how some people struggle so much more to stay at the top. While some other people, it seems like there is a degree of natural talent that some people have that is going to make a big difference when both practice the same amount of time, both grind the game the same amount of time. Some people just manage to get so much further ahead. And Classicpro has been struggling for sure to really break into the very, very top, to do well in S tier tournaments. It's been a struggle. Like even in my tournament, Terranova, last year, I don't think Classicpro did too hot, and we didn't really have a whole lot of top tier players over there, actually. It's unfortunate for sure. But hey, getting to this stage already, you know, it's not bad at all. Top 32 is gonna be getting a little bit of money for sure, which... Oh no, that was so bad for Classicpro. Very good reaction for Mr. Yo. He was paying attention here. Good job. Classicpro tried to lead the Mangonel and take the Mangonel from Mr. Yo, but he couldn't do it. Very, very good reaction from Mr. Yo. But yeah, anyway, it's a pretty good, and you know, because of his location, whatever prize share he's gonna be getting from this stage is going to get him a lot further than if he wasn't in the UK, for instance, or Switzerland. So it's good still. At the very least, don't think he's gonna be too sad about it. I know it's kind of rough. I mean, going up against Mr. Yo in the first round already. It's super tough. Daniel's got it super tough as well, going for the round 32 against Leary as well. You know, these guys are coming in over here, probably not with the highest expectations, so I'm not really sure how that's going to impact their gameplay. Good job. Classicpro repairing the TC for the time being. He's coming in with the Mangonel. Let's see about this though. I think the Mangonels are going down. They are going down. Now Imperial is here for Classicpro, but what is he going to do? He's got Bracer. Should be able to go for chemistry very soon as well. Actually, he does not have ballistics, so I'm not really sure if he even has a university, does he? He doesn't have a university! He can't even go for +4! Oh, man. This is... RIP. This is so bad. No thumb ring, no access to chemistry. Now he's just going to lose a TC over here. He gets pushed away. Mr. Yo is still in a pretty good position to keep on pushing. He's got 30 militaries compared to only 18 from Classicpro, and he shouldn't really struggle to take these units down at all. Mr. Yo is being overly cautious over here because he's expecting Classicpro to have the Arbalister upgrade coming in and Bracer as well, but yeah, little did he know Classicpro can actually... Okay, only now he can go for Arbalesters. Before he didn't have the resources. I tapped the chat and had to take a call. Could you please repeat the response? Yeah, basically I used to have webcam, but then I took it out a few times when I did not have the time to prepare myself for it before the stream, because it's a little bit of a hassle, mostly because of the long hair. And nobody noticed, and then I just stopped using it, and I think it took 3 months or 4 months before anyone said anything about the webcam in my channel. So I was like, okay, it's not a big deal. Like, viewer numbers were the same. Actually, they went higher even. So I say, alright. Had the stream confirmed? I noticed it. I've been asking for ages now. Yeah, but when I took it down first, after I had been using it, at the very least I hadn't noticed anybody asking about it. Maybe you did, and maybe I just didn't notice. So maybe I should say the first time that I noticed anybody saying something about it, it was like months into it. We're silently but surely appreciate the extra screen save. Yeah, right. Now you have a beautiful desert in the background to look at. There you are. This is his should be going down from Classicpro. He's only now going for, but it's taking so long for him to get essential upgrades. Only now going for ballistics. Yeah, and he doesn't even have chemistry right now either, so no thumb ring, no chemistry. Oh man, and those Arbalisters taking a mangonite shot to the face. Arbalisters going down to mangonite. This is not something you're expected to see. Well, that is scrambling for Classicpro for sure. Right now you can see population significantly higher for Mr. Yo, 133 to 109, right? Then on top of that, Imperial Age is coming out for Mr. Yo, and he's going to be dropping a forecastle over here. Classicpro is trying to get a counter rate going on over here, but I don't think he'll have the numbers he needs. Mr. Yo's got a good amount of skirmishers over here, plus cavalry archers, so he'll end up cleaning these units up for sure. There we go. A long hair appreciation thread. And they have the same number of villages, which is pretty good, of course. Mr. Yo was able to catch up. I think throughout this game, we should have had a much stronger amount of resources collected for Classicpro for sure. It's not that much higher, actually. It's only 1,400 extra resources. And yeah, Mr. Yo was able to catch up right now. The only thing he's missing is handcart, right? And then he's going to be completely caught up in terms of economy compared to Classicpro. But of course, the longer the game goes, the best it's going to be for Mr. Yo. In Imperial Age, you know how Mongols can be so hard to stop, especially with the switch to castles right now. Mr. Yo could go for Mangodai, that'd be amazing as well. He would have to go for a bunch of upgrades though. But you can see that he's planning to go for it because we already have almost enough resources to go for a second castle, which means we'll probably see a Mangodai switch over here very soon, and that's only going to be complemented by Siege, right? Which is also fantastic for Mongols. So the longer the game goes over here, the better it's going to be for Mr. Yo, and I think this is very much looking like it's going to be a 3-0 series, unfortunately, for Classicpro. And he did have a very good performance, though, in game number 2. This is not going to go down without a battle, but Mr. Yo is just on a different level, man. You know, he used to be for so long thought of as, by the way, Classicpro, okay, there we go. For so long, Mr. Yo has been thought of as a hot contestant to number 2 when Viper was dominating, and then now the Viper's not dominating anymore. It seems to be like a fairly, you know, even ground at the very top between the Viper, Hera, Leary, and Mr. Yo as well. Probably tied for number 1 over there, and Classicpro on the other hand has been struggling, of course. He's been mostly a top 100 player for the most part, I think. Viper won the last 2 big tournaments? Yeah. Red Bull Wololo and then Genesis, but Genesis is for Age of Empires 4. Red Bull Wololo was pretty good though. And that was an intense final for the Viper though. That was amazing. I still remember the emotion after the series ended. Viper getting back to the top. We'll see if he can do it for KOTD though. I feel like that's going to be a little bit more of a test, because it's going to be a standard game mode, right? As opposed to Empire Wars, and it's going to be Arabia, which is probably the ultimate test. Good counter raid over here for Classicpro. The thing is, he needs to do so much damage though. Mysterio kept on producing villagers. Now he managed to get 20 extra villagers. So Classicpro needs to get 20 villagers over here to even, like just to break even in villager count compared to Mysterio, right? And then what does he do over here to defend against this? He already lost the castle. He got pushed away with the trebuchets, and now we see siege rams coming in from Mysterio with drills as well. Like you can see quite clear. These are so much faster. He was going for Berserks, but that's not going to be doing anything against ranged units and the castles over here. Yeah, and Mysterio's going for skirmishers only, which I find interesting given that he's got already the second castle coming up. I thought he was going to go for Mango Day instead. But yeah, I mean, take a look at that. There is no defense over here, the villagers! Are you kidding me? The villagers cannot catch to... Yeah, he cannot catch up. He cannot catch up to the rams, actually, because they are so fast. Oh man, the train of pain coming over here from Mysterio, just completely wrecking havoc inside Classicpro's base. Very soon there's going to be only an empty hall over here for what used to be Yellow's base, as we see more rounds coming out as well. Mysterio keeps on producing as well. He's got 7 rams. He's got 3 siege workshops. He's going for the 4th one as well. Yeah, and I mean, he's got 5 rams queued up. How confident do you have to be to start spamming rams and taking the game with rams alone? Like, he's got no defenses, just rams, and he spams, and it works. He'll be able to take this castle down as well by the looks of things. Yeah, he was able to stabilize back home as well against Classicpro's units, even though he ended up taking a little bit of damage in terms of efficiency. He can still send those villagers back to work. Meanwhile, over here, Classicpro's not going to be able to... Yeah, to get the TCs back. He's not going to be able to regain control of this area. It's remarkable, man. He's got only skirmishers over here to protect the rams, and it's still working. We see some Berserks. He's been trying to go for these for a while, but the castle over here is doing so much damage. Yeah, he's going after the Mangonins as well. Good job. Can one-hit those. He's going against farms, man. Yeah, he's just patrolling these in, which is just... Oh my lord. Yeah, it was siege engineers coming in. Guys, refresh my memory, please. Does siege engineers also have an impact on rams? Does it also increase the blast radius for rams? Good job. I don't think you see a game like this too much in tournaments, do you? I cannot believe this is working, actually. Mysterio keeps on spamming it. What? He's not going for any other military units. He's not even queuing skirmishers. What is this? It's going for onagers right now. It's going to be full on siege for Mysterio. I cannot believe this is actually working. The meme levels, man. Classicpro is trying to keep on raiding around Mysterio's base. Jesus. And Mysterio's getting an extra castle back home to defend himself as well. Unbelievable. It certainly seems like he's memeing for sure, yeah. 170 population, just spamming rounds, patrolling in, and taking everything. I mean, it's working. Jeez. There we go. GG's coming in for Classicpro. Wow. What a way to get the series in style for Mysterio. That's going to be a final score of 3-0 then, and unbelievable stuff. I'm not sure we're going to get too much value out of the achievements over here. Mysterio ended up getting a better KD over here, about 5-4. It's not a huge lead. Yeah, but it's remarkable, especially in the late game as well with the Ram push. Much stronger economy for Mysterio in the end. Maybe not that much higher. Only about 3,000 extra resources, which isn't really that much for a... How long was this game? 50... Yeah, 50-minute game. It's alright. it was still pretty good that he was able to get stronger economy compared to Classicpro full stop, right? Because of Classicpro civilization. Faster castle and Imperial Age times for Classicpro. He struggled to make anything happen with those though. And for society, on the other hand, a much higher villager count for Mr. Yo versus Classicpro as well. Let's go back. Yeah, take a look at this. Mr. Yo, just patrolling in. No worries about anything going down in